feeling right when you wake up.
Yeah.
And your mind is just like, it's already going.
Oh, yeah.
Like a committee meeting is happening in there before you even had your coffee.
Totally.
And you're like, can I just have a little bit more focus and calm
Right.
before all of the to-dos and everything else starts coming at me?
Absolutely.
Why? So that is what we're talking about today. We're diving into morning meditation.
Yeah, it's something that I think a lot of people are curious about these days.
Totally.
We found this really cool article that talks about morning meditation in general,
Okay.
but then also dives into a specific type of meditation called Transcendental Meditation.
Okay, yeah, TM.
TM.
So
Hey.
this article, it's got a bunch of experts in there.
It does.
And it's referencing studies.
Yeah, for sure.
And basically, we're going to take all of that
Yeah.
and really break it down to see how adding meditation to your morning routine could actually have like a tangible impact on your life.
Absolutely. Like, how is this going to improve your mental clarity, your emotional well-being?
Totally.
How you handle stress, how it affects your physical health?
It's a lot.
It is. There are a lot of benefits.
So this article, it starts off by talking about how morning meditation has become so popular.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's doing it.
Like it mentions CEOs, busy parents, people in healthcare, celebrities.
I've even seen articles in like Healthline and the New York Times about it.
So why do you think that is? Why is this resonating with so many different types of people?
Well, I think the idea of wanting to start your day with some kind of mental clarity and inner peace.
Totally.
That's pretty universal.
It's a human experience.
It is. And so I think whether you're leading a company or, raising kids or facing a really demanding career.
You're busy.
Yeah, everyone's busy.
You need a little bit more of that.
Exactly. And I think the fact that we're seeing it everywhere from, CEOs to parents to healthcare professionals to even these publications. I think that really shows that there's something beneficial there.
Yeah, it's not just a fad.
Definitely not.
So beyond just feeling a little more zen, what are some of the things that this article is saying?
Okay.
Morning meditation can actually help you with.
So it breaks it down into a few key areas.
Okay.
One of the first things it talks about is mental clarity.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it emphasizes how that quiet time in the morning can really just help declutter your mind.
It's like hitting the reset button.
Exactly, like before the demands of the day start flooding in.
Okay, so you're saying if your mind isn't so full of chatter first thing in the morning, how does that actually translate into like your day-to-day activities?
Well, think about it this way. When you have that enhanced mental clarity, you're going to be able to make decisions more effectively.
Oh.
You're going to be able to solve problems more effectively.
That makes sense.
And it can even boost your creative thinking.
Yeah.
So especially for the learner persona, that extra mental sharpness in the morning could be a huge advantage.
Right, because you are constantly taking in new information.
Exactly.
Trying to connect the dots between different things.
Yep.
Okay, so another big one that this article talks about is reducing stress and anxiety.
Right.
How does morning meditation help with that?
So it's interesting. There's a physiological connection here.
Okay.
The article points out that morning meditation can actually help lower your levels of cortisol.
Okay, and cortisol is?
Cortisol's that stress hormone.
Okay.
It's like your body's internal alarm system.
Yeah, like the fight or flight thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
So morning meditation kind of helps dial down the sensitivity of that alarm.
Oh, so you're not as reactive to things.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this isn't just about feeling less frazzled in the moment.
Right.
Consistently, lower cortisol levels can have really positive long-term effects on your overall health.
Like what kind of things?
Well, it can reduce the risk of things like heart disease,
Oh, wow.
stroke, certain types of cancer.
Okay, so it's not just a mental benefit.
It's not just mental, it's physical too.
It's really powerful.
It is.
So this article also talks about improved emotional well-being.
Yeah.
I mean, how does starting the day with meditation help you be more emotionally resilient?
I think it's important to think about how most of us start our days.
Okay.
We jump right into the whirlwind of emails and news updates.
Social media,
all of it.
Right.
So morning meditation provides a kind of emotional buffer.
Yeah.
It allows you to start from a place of inner peace.
Yeah, like a foundation.
Exactly. And that can make you more resilient
Okay.
as you face the challenges of the day.
So you're kind of starting from a better place.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the article even mentions that with regular practice, you can actually see long-term improvements in your mood.
Oh, wow.
and even a reduction in things like anxiety and depression.
Okay, so it's not just a temporary fix.
Right. It's about building those long-term skills.
Okay, cool. Um, Another one, focus and concentration.
Oh, yeah. Huge one.
I mean, especially today with constant distractions, like
Right.
phones are blowing up all the time.
It's so hard to focus.
It is. So how does meditation actually help you with that?
So a lot of meditation techniques are really about training your attention on the present moment.
Okay.
So when you're meditating and your mind wanders, you gently bring it back, and
wow.
you're essentially exercising those mental muscles of attention.
Okay.
And then over time, that practice can make you better able to stay present and concentrate on what you're doing throughout the day.
Okay.
So you become more productive and more efficient.
Which is what we all want.
Exactly.
Okay, and then the last thing that this article talks about in terms of the general benefits of morning meditation is physical health.
Yeah.
It mentions things like blood pressure, sleep quality, immune system, and even breathing.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to pack in.
It is.
So how does that all connect?
Well, it really highlights how interconnected our mental and physical health are.
Yeah.
So the article mentions that the deep breathing exercises that are often a part of meditation, those can directly benefit your lungs and your respiratory function. And the other physical benefits probably come from that overall reduction in stress and that more balanced physiological state that you get from regular mindfulness practice.
So it's like everything is connected.
Everything's connected.
Okay, so that's a lot of really good reasons to consider incorporating some kind of morning meditation.
Totally.
But then this article kind of shifts gears and starts talking specifically about TM.
Yeah, Transcendental Meditation.
Transcendental Meditation.
Yeah.
What is that and how is it different?
So TM is presented as like a really simple and effective technique for achieving this state of like restful alertness.
Restful alertness, okay.
Yeah, and it emphasizes effortlessness. Like allowing your mind and body to naturally settle into this deep state of rest.
So it's not like forcing yourself to think about nothing.
Right. It's more about letting go. So you're deeply relaxed in your body, but your mind is still present and aware. That's interesting. It is kind of like that calm focus that you might experience right after a good night's sleep. Yeah. But potentially even deeper.
Deeper than sleep.
Potentially even deeper.
That's pretty amazing.
It is. And the article even mentions a study in the American Psychologist that found physiological markers that actually show this deeper level of rest.
So what were some of those markers?
Well, the article didn't go into like all the technical details, but the main point is that this research suggests that the rest you get from TM, it's actually different.
Okay.
And potentially deeper than just closing your eyes and relaxing.
So you're saying it's like a deeper off switch.
Exactly, like hitting a deeper off switch for your nervous system than regular sleep allows.
Wow.
So you're getting a more thorough mental and physical recharge.
Okay, so then if you're getting this super deep rest in the morning, how does that affect your energy levels throughout the rest of the day?
Well, if we think about the body and mind needing to recharge, this deep rest with TM really allows for a more effective recovery process. So you could think of it like a super-powered nap that sets you up with more vitality.
So you're not hitting that afternoon slump.
Exactly, and you just have this sense of freshness that can last all day.
That's pretty cool.
It is, and the article actually references another study that looked at medical students, and the ones who practiced TM, they had increased energy levels.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so TM is also said to enhance your brain function.
It is.
How does it do that?
So the article talks about increased coherence in brainwave patterns.
What does that even mean?
So there's some really interesting research in cognitive processing that suggests that when you do TM, it leads to greater synchronization or coherence in different areas of the brain.
So what you're saying is if different parts of your brain are trying to play their own little tune, TM helps them all come together.
It's like an orchestra coming into harmony.
I like that.
And that synchronization, the studies are suggesting that it's linked to improvements in all sorts of cognitive functions.
Okay, like what?
Like your memory, your creativity, even things like IQ and problem-solving abilities.
So it's not just about feeling good, it's actually helping you think better.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
It is.
Okay, so the article also talks about emotional balance and stability.
Right.
As being a specific benefit of TM. How does it contribute to that?
So Similar to general meditation,
Yeah.
TM helps to reduce stress and anxiety.
Okay.
But the article actually points to a meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Psychology that suggests that TM might be even more effective than other meditation techniques for reducing what's called trait anxiety.
Trait anxiety, okay.
So that's like that general underlying feeling of worry and apprehension.
So like a baseline level of anxiety.
Exactly.
Got it.
So by starting your day with that calm and centered state that you cultivate through TM, you're just better equipped to handle whatever emotional ups and downs come your way.
You're more prepared.
Right.
Okay. Now, for some people, meditation has a spiritual dimension as well.
It does.
And this article talks about spiritual growth as a potential benefit of TM.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people who practice TM, that deep inner silence that they experience, it can help foster a sense of connection with themselves and maybe even something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
So practicing TM in the morning can cultivate a sense of purpose and alignment that can then inform their actions throughout the day.
Interesting.
It's a really powerful idea.
Yeah, so it's more than just sitting there and being quiet.
Exactly.
It's about connecting to something deeper.
Right.
Okay, cool. This article also includes some really interesting real-world examples. Like it quotes a Trustpilot reviewer named D, who talked about having increased focus and energy after starting their morning meditation.
Right.
And then it mentions Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big proponent of TM.
Right.
And he describes it as simple and easy and effective for setting a positive mood for the day.
Which is so important.
It is. And I think that's what's really relatable about his quote.
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't have to be this big, complicated thing.
Totally.
And then there's another Trustpilot reviewer, Chuck, who said something similar about it, helping to set a positive tone.
Yeah, that's great.
So these stories really show that this isn't just theoretical.
Right.
It's actually having a real impact on people's lives.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's say someone's listening to this and they're thinking, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I want to try this. How do I actually make this happen?
Okay.
How do I incorporate morning meditation?
Right.
And specifically TM into my routine?
Well, the article emphasizes that just incorporating morning meditation in general
can bring all sorts of positive changes.
Right.
But it really highlights TM as this powerful and relatively easy way to start your day.
So if you're interested in learning TM specifically, what do you do?
So the article mentions that there are certified teachers at over 170 TM centers across the U.S.
Oh, wow.
So you can find a teacher near you.
That's really helpful.
It is.
Okay, so to sum it all up, it sounds like this deep dive into the benefits of morning meditation, and TM especially, is showing that there's some really big potential advantages here.
For sure.
We're talking sharper thinking, less stress, better emotional balance, better focus.
Improved physical health.
Improved physical health. It's a lot.
It is.
And for people who practice TM, there's that potential for even deeper rest.
Yeah.
More energy.
Enhanced brain function.
Enhanced brain function.
And even spiritual growth for some people. It's really about how you start your day.
And how that can impact the rest of your day and your overall well-being.
So it's not just about those few minutes in the morning.
It's not.
It's about the ripple effect.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's a final thought for everyone listening.
Okay.
Even if it's just taking a few minutes every morning to be quiet and reflect.
Right.
Could that small change actually shift your perspective?
It could.
And impact your whole day.
Absolutely.
In ways that you haven't even thought of yet.
I think so.
Maybe this is the little push you need to go out and explore different meditation techniques and find one that really works for you and allows you to experience all of these benefits firsthand.
That's what it's all about.
Cool.
Awesome. You're welcome.